This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for On the Lot with Matt Jackson. And this week, Matt, you are totally surprising me.
I am.
Your guest, so you better fill me in.
Here's the special thing about today, Karen, and once again, thank you for this awesome platform that you've created for us. But I'm bringing to the show today the old and the new, okay? Kate Whitney is one of my oldest and dearest friends in Los Angeles. And Vicky DeRosa is one of my fabulous newest friends in Los Angeles. And both of these women have healed themselves through ailments, through food and discipline. And I am honored to call both of these women my friends, my very close friends. And so I just want to talk today about not only the discipline that the two of you had to heal yourselves, but also something in your brain told you guys that other things are possible besides living the way you lived. So Vicky, let's start with you and just a little synopsis of your story.
So, hi everybody, and thank you for today. Thank you for just spending a few minutes with me and hearing my story, being interested in my story. Just really briefly, I was 39 years old. I was running a really good sized construction management company, and woke up one morning almost completely blind. Within a couple of days, I was blind, and it took 6 months for the doctors to diagnose me. And when the doctors diagnosed me, they told me that I would be completely blind for the rest of my life, that there was no treatment, cure, surgery, anything for the genetic disease that I had. And so I spent the next year and a half on a journey of getting my eyesight back. I refused everything. I refused disability. I refused assistance. I refused the blind hospital. I refused even the cute little seeing eye dog. And within a year and a half, I regained the majority of my sight. I regained about 80% of my eyesight. And it was, a lot of people say it's attributed to food, and Matt is right when he says food and diligence. Because the food is a big part of it, but diligence really has a lot to do with the mind. And when your mind really believes that anything is possible, as Matt said, possibilities, in my mind, I kept every single day, I would tell myself anything was possible. Anything was possible.
Because you know what, Vicky, knowing both you and Kate, like, I understand that you guys both healed your different ailments through food. But with that comes discipline and like getting up every day and saying, I'm going to do this. And that was kind of like the thing that, you know, sometimes we say, oh yeah, I healed myself through just changing my diet or whatever, but it's the discipline that you go through. Kate, tell us a little bit about your story.
Thank you, Maddie, for having me on, by the way. It's so nice to see you.
I'm so happy to have you.
This is a face you never get tired of, I'll tell you that, ever. I was diagnosed, I don't even know what year it was, Matt. What was the year before I met you?
Oh, man. Should we say 2006?
Okay, so we'll go with that year. I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is a hyperthyroid disease. And the symptoms that had shown up for me were the major one was I had this big lump in my neck, which is called a goiter, which is like one of the worst words. I hate the word goiter. And I had a goiter in my neck, and I shook all the time, and I was starting to lose mobility in my right hand and starting to slur my words. And
let's not forget your eyes were basically coming out of your socket. Let's not forget that part.
This is why you have old friends that have memories. This is why. The things you like to forget, they always remind you of. It's a wonderful thing. So, but here's the interesting thing I think about certain dis-eases in the body is that if you're used to a very stressful life, and I had been very used to a stressful life, you think that this is normal. Whatever that my body was going through was just normal. And it wasn't until someone pointed out that they could see this lump on my neck that I had a problem. I didn't even know. So the doctors told me I had hyperthyroid disease called Graves' disease. They said that there was nothing else that I could do except for the radioactive iodine, which is you're drinking a bit of radiation to, burn out the bad cells, but which would also burn out your good cells and then put you on synthetic thyroid medication for the rest of my life. Now, I was in a place where I had just lost my mother and father. I was in my, it's a very frightening time for me. So for me to be sick with anything was just terrifying to me. So everyone around me was saying, do what the doctors are telling you. You have no choice. In fact, that's what the doctor said. You don't have a choice. But something in me said, don't do what they're telling you to do. Don't do it. So I actually went, when my mother was sick with cancer, we investigated a macrobiotic diet. That's, in a nutshell, it's basically, everything's based around balance in that diet. It's no milk, no dairy, no meat, no sugar. And every single meal, in a nutshell, is like a grain, a protein usually, but vegan, and a green. And so I went to the macrobiotic people and I asked them, I told them what the doctor said, and I said, what do you say? And they said, do this diet and you'll be okay in 3 months. Now, with that said, I went home and started to do this diet, which was very disciplined, extremely disciplined. In fact, Matt, I'm pretty sure it was you that actually said that I was basically eating dirty water every meal. That's what you said it tasted like. However, in addition to the diet,
I mean, you have to remember, I'm a boy from Minnesota where there's meat and potatoes on the table. And I was like, are you drinking the leftover cooking water? What are you doing?
You know what, though? Kudos to you, because you grinned and bared it, and I really appreciated that. But in addition to the diet, there was a lot of, for me, spirituality going on. And without that part, for me, I don't think the diet would have worked. I think it was all encompassing. It was me changing my mind. It was me reading about God. It was me having faith. It was me changing everything from within. And the diet obviously helps that because it grounded me. I feel like the food grounded me, and the nutrients in the food really started to heal the cells. But for me, my belief is the food wasn't enough. I think it was everything that was going along with the food, the remedies, my yoga, the meditation, all of it. It was everything, because I had to change on a whole level. So yeah, within 3 months, literally the doctor said, I think you're the poster child for macrobiotics, but it's the poster child for listening from within. Thank God that I had a voice that I could hear. And, like we've been saying, just the discipline to say yes to that and go through that process, which is not easy. And I can't speak, for everyone, but there was a lot of tears and a lot of detoxing and a lot of stuff that went with that too. And that can be really scary. So that's my story. I'm so grateful.
That's why it's called holistic, right, Kate? Holistic.
Yes, exactly.
Mind, body, spirit, it's everything.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And to know the other side, like, I think for me, I would love a quick fix for everything. Just let me take the pill, let me have the button, whatever it is. But, the process by which my body had to get back into homeostasis was going to take a minute, because it had taken a lot of years to get out of balance. Now it's going to take a little time. I think that's something that's really important to remember. And I'm sure you went through the same thing.
I did. It's it's perseverance and faith.
Yeah.
Really,
for sure.
Perseverance and faith, because I did the same thing day in and day out, and I think the mind and the spiritual work were so much tougher than the food piece of it.
Yes, agreed.
But believing day
yes.
in and out, when you don't see a change, when
yes.
you don't see a change and you continue to persevere,
yes,
that's no matter what, no matter how long it takes, whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, 20 years. It's
yes.
about believing.
Yes.
Because you know what, Kate? I still have about 20% of my eyesight to recover.
Yep.
It's been since 2004, and you know what? I still believe. I believe in 100%, and I believe it's coming.
But I think that's really important, because I know in other parts of my life, and other things have come up in my body, over the years, that I'm still having to constantly hold the picture of what you're talking about. And, you know, I think so much of that picture is literally we're like trudging through that fear. It's trudging through that vibration of fear to get through to get to the truth. I think which ultimately the truth is all we are well, you know, at
Yes,
least that's
so
what
profound. We are well. So profound. We are
yeah,
well.
yeah. You're
So,
beautiful.
Kate, I have a
Ladies and
question.
gentlemen, welcome to the Vicky and Kate show.
Kate,
Karen, we can go now.
Yeah.
We can go now.
well, I have a question for Kate, and that is, back in the early 70s, I too was diagnosed with Graves' disease. They tried
Wow.
treating it with medication, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And so in 1974, they would not do radiation on me because I was in my early 20s, and they said, if we do this, you may never have children because you can become sterile. So I had a thyroidectomy, total thyroidectomy.
Wow.
Oh,
I was fine afterwards for the first 10 years.
Wow.
Since then, I've had, as Matt knows in the short time he's met me, I have many, many gastric issues. And when I talk to a doctor about it, it's always, well, go Google it. So my
oh
question
my
to you is,
goodness.
how did you find somebody who was willing to give you some guidance to help you? Because, you know, doctors today, either they give you a pill or they tell you to Google it. Well, I
Right.
Googled it and I automatically thought, oh, I'm having gallbladder problems, and
Yeah.
went through an amount, so much money to have tests to tell me it's not that.
Right.
A friend yesterday said to me, you know, Karen, I guarantee you it's your thyroid. And now hearing you,
Yes.
it's like, okay, I need to clean myself up.
Well, I think this is so perfectly, incredibly amazing that you're asking for this information, right? You want the answers now. Here comes Matt. Here comes me. Here we come. Here come the answers. So that's
Yep.
to your question to me is how did you find the support? This is exactly how, because when I do my best to, when I had the Graves' disease, like I said, there was something in me and that said, don't do what they're saying. But I didn't know what to do then. Okay, but I knew don't go there. So you know now, no doctors right now. They're not helping me. Okay, so that's good. It's a process of elimination. So I already had the education of the macrobiotics diet because of my mother. Now, my mother did not prevail on earth. She passed away. But what I noticed about the macrobiotics during that time is even process of watching her, you know, deteriorate. I had this strength and this feeling of health that was absolutely incredible. And I know it was attributed to the food. So that's what brought me to macrobiotics. So there's a woman named Mina Dobick. She is like a macrobiotic guru, and she's the one that I called and said, listen, this is what the doctors are telling me. Would you be willing to meet with me? And I want to hear what you have to say. So that's where I started. So I went and I talked to her. Now, granted, that doesn't mean, you know, there have been several people that have been diagnosed with Graves' disease since I have, and they asked me what I did, and I said, this is what I did. And that doesn't mean the macrobiotic diet was the right thing for them. It does take a lot of discipline. But you will know, because just like, you know, like the doctor is not the right thing, your answers are inside of you, because for better or for worse, I say the word God. God is within you, created you, knows exactly how to guide you, but we just have to ask and then listen to what shows up. That's the key. And if you're asking these questions, the answers are coming. Now it's our responsibility to listen in an email, to a phone call, listening to a conversation. All of a sudden something hits you in a different way. It might not be the right path, but God will always put us on the right path if we're focused on getting the right answer. That's my experience.
I love that. I
I
do.
love that.
The great news is that we have what we need. You have what you need, and you will get it. And that's what she was talking about, is that perseverance. You will get it.
Yeah.
I mean, the purpose of this podcast is is to be bold and to be heard. And we started this by celebrating, just differences. And it started with the Black Lives Matter movement and celebrating diversity amongst all races. But the truth is, we all have to be loud, we have to be bold, we have to be heard, and we have to help each other out. So, Vicky, we're going to go back to possibilities. What is your next possibility? What's your next big thing you're working on? What are you envisioning? What are you doing?
I want that's such a great question. I did not expect that. I'll be totally transparent. Kate really impacted me just a few minutes ago when she said, "We are well."
She does that to people.
Yes, no, and it's awesome. It's such a blessing. And, I just want to speak for a second to what she said. That one of my favorite quotes is, "Be still and know that I am God."
Yeah, big time.
And in that little book, The Alchemist, it says, when you are on the right path, the universe will conspire to assist you. So, Karen, the answers always come. As Kate said, be open and listen. But Matt, to answer your question, I want to be able to share with as many people as I possibly can. That is my greatest mission, to share, because the worst thing that can happen to anyone, see, Kate and I had hope, and we still have hope. We wake up every morning with hope. Mm-hmm. The greatest thing that people can lose is their hope. Mm-hmm. So if I can find just a small way to enable people to have more hope in their life, that's what I want.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Kate, you're embarking right now on a brand new possibility, and it looks like you've got some of the items behind you.
Oh no!
Which looks beautiful. Kate has opened her possibility of having a fashion boutique store, and
it's resale.
Yeah, and Kate just has the best eye for details and fashion, and she's living it. She's literally doing her passion, and I am so proud of her, because you don't feel like you're working, do you? You're just doing this is you.
Yeah, but I would love to speak on it for just a minute, Matt, because it's exactly what the theme is today of your incredibly beautiful sharing today. I did not go seeking out this store. The store came seeking me. So again, this is just my experience. My goal in life is to follow God's will for my life. That's my only goal. Sometimes I forget that, but then I get reminded when I feel like I'm really lost that, oh yeah, I'm trying to find all these things in the world, but really all I want is God's will. Then when I do that, it seems like just what you said, the whole universe just goes, here it is, here it is, here it is. Now, granted, there's always trudging through fear, I find, on this journey. There's always that. It doesn't matter. I always feel like, oh, I made it. No, I made it to the next mountain, right?
Yeah.
So this boutique, while I didn't go searching for it, the amazing thing is this girl that I just spoke to, she said, I find when things find you, that's when the heart is talking. And I just loved that, because I couldn't tell you how happy I am being in this little boutique. It feels like the thing that's finally me for the first time, because I've been working for others for so many years. It's resale, which speaks to when I had money or when I didn't have money, I always wanted to dress a certain way. And I now I can share that with others, as I can give people that opportunity to wear beautiful things for a very low price. And yet I've made this store that was kind of a schleppy store. I cleaned it out and made it into kind of like an old-fashioned little Chanel salon, so that people walk in and they feel beautiful. But I'm like, yeah, but everything's resale. So it's like, I don't know. It just makes me feel like everything that I've learned on this journey so far is in this store, and I get to share that little piece of me now. So you know what?
And you're glowing. You're happy.
Yeah. I love clothes. Love clothes.
I just want to take a quick note. What was the name of that guy who you're praying to? What's his name? It starts with a G.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
That was
Yeah,
good.
those are one and the same for me. But wait, I wanted to say something to Vicky. Vicky, for what it's worth, there was a woman that came in the store about 2 weeks ago, and she peeked her head in, and she's British, and she peeks her head and she goes, "Oh my God, this is exactly what I would have done with this stall." And she came in, and I said, "Well, who are you?" And she says, "I was just getting my hair cut." And I said, "Now where do I go?" And I heard the little voice go, "Go and look at that resale shop." So anyway, that's how she came into the store. She said that when she had her son was born blind or almost blind. And she was told by that little voice, "You're going to open a wellness center here in La Jolla, and your son is going to be healed." And he was.
Oh,
So there is a
wow.
center here that, I don't know, might be part of your 20%. And then I get to meet you.
Kate, Kate, I am so awesome. And, you know, this is just a short period of time that we can talk today, but I would love to connect with you.
Yeah.
There's so much that I am grateful for. This is a genetic disease. And the ironic part is it's a children's disease and it's a male disease, which
Interesting.
I'm looking at the doctors and I'm like, I'm not a child and I'm not a male. My son, my older son, went blind for 24 hours in 2009. And I was able to heal him 100% with all the things that I had done to myself.
Isn't that something?
And so, you know, I'm so grateful. People have so much sympathy for where I am, and I can't even go into that place for even a second because there's so much gratitude.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
You know,
From where you were to where
Vicky,
you are.
we're going to San Diego. We're taking a trip.
Oh yeah, we are. Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, you too, Karen. You might, you know.
Karen's
Nope.
got to get out here.
COVID will be
out
over soon. So yes, I'll be out.
All right. Well, I wanna just, we could chat forever, but I want to thank you three inspiring ladies for, first of all, being in my life, and Vicky and Kate, you know, thank you for being guests on the show. Your stories, even if I don't tell you every day, your stories mean the world to me. And thank you for being a close friend. I love you all. And
Jackson, your face means the world
Such a
to me.
blessing, Matt. You're such a blessing. You're such a blessing. Such a gift, Matt.
Kate, how can people find your resale shop? I mean, I'm here in Cleveland. You know, maybe something that I'd like to buy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, okay.
Give a shout out. Give a shout out.
It's called Boulevard, and I'm on Instagram at Boulevard LJ. That stands for Boulevard La Jolla. So Boulevard LJ on Instagram. And I post lots of wonderful things that are just arrivals, Vicky. And you can always contact me through there or get my number from Matt, and I will Zoom you into the store and take you to every piece and see what you'd like.
Kate, I have as much of a passion for clothes as I do for healing. I want you to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
That is wonderful.
Vicky, do you want to end our podcast by just turning your computer around? Do you want to just show us where you are?
Yes. Can you see?
Oh,
wow.
Wait, where are you? Are you in Florida?
Mexico.
Oh my God, of course.
Now that's not fair as it's snowing out my window.
No,
So,
Karen, it's just a poster.
Oh,
so
okay.
all I'm going to say is that next time you and everybody plans that trip, I think that you need to bring some more people with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what a gift, ladies. And Matt, thank you so much. This has been, I'm ignited. I think we're all ignited.
Thank you.
Isn't that amazing?
Such a gift, such a blessing. Thank you for today. Thank you, Matt. Karen, what a blessing it is to meet you. And I would love to stay in touch with you. And anything that I can do to help, please.
Yes.
And Kate, I'm going to come visit you with Matt.
I'll connect you all.
Okay,
Have a great day, everybody.
Listeners, thank you for listening, and thank you for believing in your possibilities. And we'll see you guys next week.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.